Hi, I'm Dr. Blair Masters. I wanted to talk today about leaky gut syndrome, particularly as it relates to migraine headaches. And when you are in a situation, and this is a depiction of the intestinal tract, and the left side is supposed to be the good side. It's got lots of good bacteria and a barrier, a mucus barrier here that keeps food from getting into the body before it should be. And on the right side is depicted leaky gut, and we'll get into this in a little more detail here in a minute. What this graphic does not depict is what happens after it gets into the bloodstream. And all of the blood that goes from the intestinal tract, which this is a depiction of that, goes first to the liver. And the liver processes the food and helps you deal with any toxins that might be in the food that you've absorbed. And it helps you be healthy and helps you deal with all this food you have coming into the body. And this is a normal process. So here's what tends to occur when you are in a situation where you are normal and healthy and you've got good bacteria, the good probiotics. Then food gets digested normally, and it is digested completely before it is absorbed through these tiny little cracks in the intestines, gets into the blood, and its amino acids, fatty acids, various carbohydrates, this sort of thing, goes to the liver. The liver helps you deal with all this stuff. It prepares it for use in the body and maybe stores some of it and that sort of thing. And then this is how things are when you're healthy. Here's what happens when you have leaky gut syndrome is the candida, which overgrows, and sometimes parasites, which overgrow, crowd out the good bacteria that you should have, make these cracks or these areas where food is absorbed in the intestinal tract much larger. And so food leaks into the bloodstream before it's completely digested. And this is why they call it leaky gut syndrome. Well, a couple things happen here that are not desirable. One is the yeast or the candida overgrowth and the parasites create waste products that the liver has to detoxify and deal with and take care of for you. And the other thing is that food is not completely digested before it's absorbed through these large cracks. So let's say you eat a piece of chicken, for instance, you digest it down to small proteins. Well, on this side, on the healthy side, these small proteins are still too large to get absorbed through these tiny little cracks. So it's digested further down to amino acids, now gets absorbed, and the body says, oh, that's an amino acid, I know what that is, I'm going to make some new muscle or new hair or new skin or whatever the situation is needed. What happens on this side is the same piece of chicken gets broken down into small proteins, but now they're small enough to get through these larger cracks. It gets absorbed into the blood, and you've got an undigested protein that goes to the liver. The body says, well, we don't know what to do with this. We have no idea what to do with this. So it kind of treats it as a toxin. So you've got toxins coming from these abnormal inhabitants of the intestinal tract, and then you've got toxins coming from undigested food, and it makes the liver and gallbladder very, very overloaded. They can't keep up with the task of this 3 meals a day, 365 days a year, toxins just overloading the liver. So what tends to occur is the gallbladder gets overloaded, and as you know from some other videos, when the gallbladder system is overloaded, oftentimes you'll end up with migraine headaches. Now, many people will treat the migraine by taking something to get rid of that, but most of the time it actually starts in the gut, and unless you treat this and eliminate the leaky gut syndrome, which that's an entire other video by itself, But unless you eliminate the leaky gut syndrome, you're going to be in a situation where you're continually having migraine headaches over and over and over again until you get rid of the underlying cause.